I found the ICA after I'd been in the service for a long time. I'd been in iRacing for well over a decade and spent most of my time in NASCAR series, a lot of fixed racing for the most part, and really just got to a point in my iRacing career where I really wanted to get involved in open setup racing versus fixed, partially because I was just looking for a little higher level of competition, maybe a little cleaner driving and maybe get away from some of the challenges that go along with fixed racing on the service. And it took me a while as I was really searching out leagues because I kind of had a very specific thing I was looking for. A, I wanted to be an established league. B, I just really wanted clean, quality drivers to be racing around. And once I found the ISCA, I found out really quick that it was going to check all those boxes, and I've been with the ISCA ever since. I think the things I like the most about the ISCA is it's a developmental league, but it's also a league that's got some veteran drivers. And I think really what I was looking to do was try to surround myself with some people to better my talent, my skill, and my craft. And that's one thing the ISCA has really delivered. It's got great quality drivers. You learn how to race in close quarters around some of these other people. And I think the other thing, when you do look at the developmental side, once I joined the ICA, my I rating has soared, my safety rating is better than it's ever been. And it's also really great to see drivers that join our league, really excel over time, some of which stay with the league and some that maybe move on to some bigger things, which is really exciting. We have a great history of developing drivers. We have a great alumni list. But I just really enjoy, participating in the league and just continue to get better each week that goes by. Yeah, the competition in the ICA is awesome. I think a lot of us talk about it, each week of just how blessed we are to have such a high level of driving capabilities and just a quality group of drivers overall. And I think that's just still, I think the thing I like the most about the ICA. You build a lot of friendships, a lot of camaraderie. We're really competitive on Thursday and Saturday nights, but it's really fun also after the race to kind of review the race start to finish. And we do a lot of coaching about what's working, what's not working. Not saying we give away all of our secrets, but I think anyone that joins it, there's a common theme. They get better each week, their I rating goes up. We see them in strength of field races over time, week in, week out. And that's just something that's really fun. Even though we compete, we really appreciate the league we participate in. And I think in most cases, we're highly competitive with some of the best and cleanest drivers on the service. And if you like long green flag runs, we don't have a lot of cautions in our races. We tend to have green flag pit stops. But those are just some things that I really enjoy about the league the most, is the quality of the competition, the lack of cautions, and just the long runs that really leads to some really awesome racing. Yeah, I think people that should join the ISCA are people like myself. When I go back a few years ago and I was really looking to up my game and get involved in open setup league racing, for so long I just wasn't involved in that because I just didn't, I didn't seek it out, but I really didn't also know how to get started. And once I started doing research, it was a really easy choice that the ICA was a place I really wanted to be and get involved with. And all those things I talked about earlier have happened to me, from improving I rating, improving my skill. And, I'm someone that I really enjoy the ICA. I'll probably stay there, but don't think that, if you're coming to the ICA, that it's something long-term. That in some cases you can find a long-term home like a lot of us, but we develop drivers, and ultimately we'd like to see our drivers participate for a period of time and hopefully move their way up the ranks, whether that be into Road to Pro or Contender Series, or hopefully get to the Coke Series. That's really the goal of what we want to be, is an established league with great drivers, but also a league that's going to develop drivers into bigger and better things.
Hello and welcome everyone to the ISCA Saturday Butt Kicker Cup Series, or Super Cup Series, I should say. Definitely excited to be here this lovely Saturday night as we are in the Easter holiday weekend. And we're going to get dirty here at Bristol Motor Speedway. This half-mile racetrack, they took a tons and tons of dirt. I shouldn't say just a ton, tons of dirt, and put it all over this racetrack, high banked. And definitely going to be exciting to see what these guys have in store for them. Of course, qualifying is on in progress right now. We're looking at Justin Levine out there on the racetrack in the one machine. definitely excited to see what these guys have in store for us around this track. Of course, Thursday night was a very good race. We had almost 20 cars out there. I do believe tonight we're going to have just 11. So maybe that'll lead to less cautions. I know we did see quite a few cautions there on Thursday, but I expect that it still is going to be some great racing, some new faces out here as well. Of course, Chris Severa, always one of the kind of fixtures here in the Saturday series. I know some other drivers. Joey Preby was not here on Thursday, has been showing some good speed. Also, Kendall LeVron as well, and who I just mentioned, Justin Levine, also out there. Austin Derbyshire, also different from the Thursday group. As qualifying's underway, we have a little bit over 3 minutes left here. We're going to see who's going to be able to grab that pole. From what I'm seeing on the track, though, track usage is quite high at the moment. They, of course, did have an hour of practice on this surface, which you can see the black kind of slick parts of this racetrack. Is very hard to drive on this track. Of course, when the track's warm like this, it's very difficult to run up on the top side, which is where a lot of the speed comes from. So a lot of drivers are going to have to drive a little bit more towards the bottom of the racetrack. While we have a moment, let's take a look at the points coming in here to tonight's race and the race facts after that. Of course, Chris Severa at the top of the board with 5 wins. He has more wins than anybody. I do believe he has had 6 starts, and there have been 6 races so far in the Super Cup Series point standings. And as I mentioned, he has 5 wins, so definitely a fantastic showing so far for him. 6 top 5, so he is about at 370 points, 67 points over Kenny Powell at the moment. Third place is Jose Acosta with 5 top 5s. Fourth place, Greg Wachinski. He's 94 points back from the points leader. Kendall LeVron, he's about 111 points back. He's got 3 top 5s. Sixth place, Frank Flores has been having a pretty good season. I know he had actually a really good race last week from what I remember. He sits in 6th. Brandon Pasalacqua has 1 win this season. I do not see him actually out there on the track, so I don't think he's actually going to be competing here, but he is the only other winner, I do believe, so far this season to get a win besides Chris Severa. He's in 7th. 8th place, Darren Mullins. Do not see his car in competition here tonight, so she could be some good points for Austin Derbyshire, who sits in 9th. Maybe he can catch up and maybe make that gap a little bit smaller, maybe even move up to the 8th spot. Of course, Derek Jacobs also out here. He's looking to get some points. And taking a look at the race facts, as I mentioned before, this is the Sugarlands Distilling Co. 156 at Bristol. Of course, the dirt version, the Bristol Motor Speedway. 156 laps. Stages are 30, 70, and of course, the race ends on 156 going to 157. Of course, on Thursday, we did have a green-white checkered. We'll be curious to see if that is going to be the case here tonight. 5 sets of tires, 4 are actually going to be down in the pits. Tires are not really a big deal here. Of course, in real life, I do believe tires do wear on dirt tracks, especially when the track gets slicked up and a lot of the rubber gets set down into the racing surface, but I don't think tires are going to be really a big deal here tonight. Fuel is also not going to be a huge deal, just considering 150 laps is the estimated amount of distance you can make it, and the cautions, I'd say, in the stages might make it to where you can actually not have to pit at all during this race, but I would expect that some drivers will bring it down pit road at some point, just to get a little top off during the stages, maybe to make sure that they can make it to the end. But for the most part, I think pit stops are going to be something we're not going to see a whole lot of here tonight. But now we have about 30 seconds left in qualifying, and I think now is the perfect time to go ahead and take our step away and play our national anthem, and we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the...
Getting into this particular business, it was very important for us to make sure that we were putting out the most authentic product. Sugarlands Distilling Company is a fantastic distillery in downtown Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Our goal is to spread across the country. We would love your help in doing that.
Hey everybody, my name is Warren Maddox. I am the president of Ultimate Experience Outdoors. Our mission, we are dedicated to taking veterans, first responders, youth, and Gold Star family members on outdoor excursions across the country.
Support for our mission has many forms, from camp cooks to the great storytellers, some buddies with the band, maybe you just want to build a campfire and sit around and listen. Nothing goes unnoticed.
Camaraderie is reborn. The acceptance among the men and women that took an oath.
Whether it was decades ago or recently renewed, but never forgotten.
If you feel like you could help us, please visit our website, www.uxonation.org.
There, you can register to hunt, sign up to sponsor an event, or even donate to us so we can continue to execute our mission.
Oh my gosh, I'm so talking, bro. We get a hug, man. What have you done, Jim?
We need your help to hold the line once again.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we got the grid set for this evening's action. Chris Severa going to be starting on the pole with Jose Acosta going to be starting second place. Third place going to be Justin Levine with Kendall Levron starting in fourth place. Fifth place going to be Greg Wachinski. Frank Flores starts in sixth. Seventh place going to be Kenny Powell with Austin Derbyshire starting in eighth place. Ninth place going to be Joey Preby. Paul Olson rounds out our top 10, and I do believe our 11th place starter is Derek Jacobs. Definitely excited to see, as I mentioned before, what these guys have in store for us here tonight. Do you want to mention, as you can see, in practice and in qualifying, the track was quite worn. Track is still quite worn, and I have to ask, why is that the case? Of course, that was the thing on Thursday as well, and I think that was a little bit of an oversight, but I think they wanted to keep that the same way just to keep maybe a consistency with the two Thursday and Saturday races. The green flag is out for the first time. Now, that is going to make it incredibly difficult to drive this race car with how slick this racetrack is for 156 laps as Chris Severa rockets out to the lead. Of course, Justin Levine is able to secure second from Kendall Levron. And they're pulling away right now. We see Kendall Levron falling back into the third place position. He's now a second back from the lead. Greg Wachinski moves up into the fifth spot. Him and I do believe Frank Flores battling it out. Here comes Austin Derbyshire. Going to be seeing if he can't work his way up into the top 5 as he goes to the inside of Wachinski. Frank Flores moves up to 4th, and look at the move from Derbyshire. He's going to get loose. He's able to pedal it and save it, as he is going to remain in 5th, but he is up 1 spot. Also, you see Jose Acosta definitely having a little bit of some problems here. He sits in 7th, but here he goes side by side with Wachinski now. I know Wachinski didn't feel very confident coming into tonight's race. He talked about how Thursday went, felt like he was somewhat of a weapon out there. We'll have to see if he's going to be able to keep it together. Of course, as I mentioned before, the track is quite worn at the moment, and it will stay that way and probably get worse and worse and worse as it goes on. So as this track, because this track is worn, you'll see that most of it, you're pretty much going to be running on the bottom of the racetrack. We do see some guys still trying to make that top side work. Chris Severa now out to over 7/10 of a second as we complete lap number 5. Of course, stage 1 will end on lap 30 to go into 31. A little bit of a different paint scheme there on Justin Levine's car. Definitely enjoy that. Looks like he has got a new sponsor on that machine. Very impressed with what we're seeing from Frank Flores. He's been looking really good. I think it was last week he got a third place position, finish, I do believe. And he definitely has been just looking nothing but fantastic out there on the racetrack. Has been getting better and better and better. And really got to give a shout out to those guys at EPI that have really just helped and coached him along. Looking at, we see, of course, Joey Preby. A lot of drivers said that he looked like he was going to be very fast in practice from what they saw. We'll have to wait and see how that kind of works out. Of course, kind of large gaps forming already here. 3rd to 4th is, I do believe, a little bit over 3 seconds at the moment, which is quite a substantial gap. As look at Frank Flores, you could tell he is very, very loose. He's having to really work that wheel there. As you see Joey Preby coming up on his back door. Let's take actually a cockpit camera. Oh, look at that. Frank loses it, but is able to keep it together there. Pull up the in-car camera here for Joey Preby. Kind of can see him in his sim rig and how much he's having to wheel. Look at the movement there on that wheel. This is something that, look at that, almost 360 degree motion there. The way you have to kind of drive this track. This track is very physically demanding. Let's take a cockpit camera. Just to watch him as he goes around this racetrack. You see a huge gap in front of him up to Kendall Levron. But look at this. Love these in-car cameras we have here, that these guys having their webcams kind of feeding right to our broadcast, so we can see exactly what's kind of going on and the looks on these guys' face, the focus. These guys are definitely going to have to keep focused as we've had 12 laps green. Caution is out. I should not have said anything. See if we can't figure out where this caution came from. Chris Severa heavily involved in this one. So this one was up at the front of the field. See Justin Levine getting a good run up to the back of the 62. See exactly what happened. Did it involve maybe possibly a lap car? See, the caution is out right here. And Chris Severa lost it in order to maybe avoid Frank Flores there. Some contact there, Kendall Levron into Justin Levine. So I think the caution actually started out with Frank Flores. Let's take a look back. Taking a look back here at Frank Flores. Just gets loose right here. able to keep it together, but I think Jose Acosta might have came up here and maybe had an issue. Maybe no. Maybe it was Frank. Yeah, Frank just loses it right in front of Jose Acosta. Big hit. Let's take a cockpit camera here from Jose Acosta, get a little bit of a better view. We're watching on board with Jose Acosta as he comes up on Frank Flores. You can see right here, he has hardly no visibility on what's going on with Frank Flores, and so hard to change directions when you're on a dirt track like this. You hit the brake, you're going to end up spinning out, and of course, not a whole lot you can do. A lot of times when you're in these corners, whatever direction you're going, that is the direction you're going to continue going. I'll tell you what, one of the laws of motion from Newton, I think it was objects when they are in motion tend to stay in motion, and that is definitely the case here at the dirt track as we're now 15 laps in. Also do want to mention that we have a couple drivers a lap down. Of course, Frank Flores, after that accident, did go a lap down. Austin Derbyshire, 10 laps down. Derek Jacobs is 12 laps down. So both of those drivers not having the greatest of times. Let's see if we can actually find exactly what happened to those two. Okay, so this is what happened to Austin Derbyshire. We're looking back here. He was side by side with Frank Flores, trying to run up on the top. Just got incredibly loose. Went right down the track. Boom, right into the barrels. And look at that. The front end of that race car completely taken off. Of course, we have had a update to the damage model a few days ago. And as you can see, it is completely just decimating race cars. These things are not the tanks that they once were, as you can completely see, is the front end of that car completely gone. Now, I know that when the next gen, just a couple months ago, or just actually a couple weeks ago, I'd say, when you hit the wall or you hit another car, a lot of times the pieces of the race car would not actually come off of the car. But that has now been the case, that the pieces are coming off the car. New damage model. Green flag is back out in the air. Chris Severa wasting no time trying to pull away from Levine, who Levine has been really putting a lot of work in, and it seems like he's got a lot of speed in that race car. Joey Preby, of course, starts in that third spot. Greg Wyszynski up into fourth now. Kendall LeBron, it looks like, battling side-by-side with Jose Acosta. And, of course, Greg Wyszynski. So Kendall LeBron trying to work his way back up into that fourth-place position. He's shown some good speed here so far tonight. Of course, side-by-side, very difficult to maintain at a track like this, especially with how worn the track surface is at the moment. But it looks like Jose is able to get by Greg Wyszynski. He's going to be relegated back into the sixth-place position. Kendall LeBron moves up to fourth. A ton of battling still going on, but we have already seen that attrition already kind of set in as three drivers are a lap down. Of course, Frank Flores is still out there trying to make laps, and he will be the lucky dog if we do get a caution. Kenny Powell trying to go side by side as well with Greg Wyszynski. Now, if we remember on Thursday, Kenny Powell and Wyszynski both had a little bit of history there on Thursday. They both kind of had multiple instances of contact. Curious if that's going to be the case here tonight. It seems like they just have magnets for each other, and of course they are on the same team. Look back up here to Chris Severa. He's got about a half a second back to Levine. Levine is starting to run him down. A little bit of a loose condition there for Levine. Of course, everybody's having a loose condition here. This is a very difficult track, and no one has had the opportunity to really drive it on the fresh track state except for in practice, which definitely makes it a whole lot more difficult for some of these drivers. I mean, it's already difficult enough to go ask these guys to go out onto the dirt track, but to ask them to drive on a track that is worn out, that has had hundreds of laps already turned on it, is quite difficult. But these guys up to the occasion. You see the top three really close to one another, within about 7/10 of one another. Joey Preby looking very quick. We talked about him. Chris Severa, I know, mentioned in practice that he was going to be one to watch. He said that he looked like he had something figured out, that he was, seemed like he maybe figured out a technique that was working for him. But you see Severa really straddling that bottom line, putting a couple tires down there on that fresh dirt. to see if he can't get a little bit of grip. That's one thing about dirt racing. You got to try to find as much grip as you possibly can, and it requires a lot of improvisation in a lot of ways. Here comes Levine, really close to the back of the 62. But it's all about adapting to the track conditions. That is one of the hugest things. And I'm wondering if we will see a whole lot of track changes, because just considering it already is quite worn. Not quite sure of the percentage that it's worn at right now, but if it does get more and more worn, of course, then we will have to see these drivers try to adapt to that scenario. But at this point, because it's so worn, it is going to be incredibly hard to pass. As you see, Levine tries to move up to the top, searching for grip, which is very difficult to even maintain that top line. You'll see a lot of drivers get loose. A little contact with the wall there for Levine. As we're coming up to now 3 laps to go here in the stage. Look at Chris Severa all the way down onto the bottom of the racetrack, almost what would be considered the apron. Here comes Levine. He's going to ride around the top, and it looks like Severa gets loose. He's going to even let Joey Preby get by. So it looks like Levine has claimed the lead. Justin Levine been looking really, really good so far here tonight. Chris Severa relegated back into the 3rd spot. It's become now 2 laps to go here in the stage. Of course, Kendall LeBron still in that 4th spot. He is followed closely behind by Jose Acosta. Of course, Acosta was one that was having a lot of difficulties, I'd say, on Thursday as well. But almost got himself a 2nd place finish there on Thursday, despite the trials and tribulations he was dealing with, as we should have the caution coming out anytime now for stage number 1. Justin Levine just got to wait for him to cross the line, and we'll wait for everyone else to cross the line. I do believe we have to wait for Paul Olson, who is in the 8th spot, who is about 13, 14 seconds back. He might end up going a lap down at some point in this race if he does not get the speed. But I will say, I was very impressed with Paul Olson on Thursday. He managed to get a 10th place finish. Caution is out, and it looks like Levine will complete lap number 31. And that will bring us lap 32. So a little bit late on the caution there. But Justin Levine, your stage 1 winner. Joey Preby finishes 2nd. Chris Severa in 3rd. Kendall LeBron 4th. Jose Acosta 5th. Greg Wachinski in 6th. Kenny Powell in 7th. Paul Olson 8th. Of course, Frank Flores in 9th. Austin Derbyshire in 10th. He's 26 laps down. Of course, Frank Flores will get the wave around here and put 9 drivers on the lead lap. With that, we'll take a quick step away, and we'll come right back and hopefully be able to talk to our stage 1 winner.
Getting into this particular business, it was very important for us to make sure that we were putting out the most authentic product. Sugarlands Distilling Company is a fantastic distillery in downtown Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Our goal is to spread across the country. We would love your help in doing that.
And we are back. And it does not appear we have the ability to talk to Justin Levine. He is not available at the moment, but congratulations to him on the stage 1 victory. I think it'd be a good time to maybe talk to Chris Severa. We'll go ahead and pull him in. Once he completes his stop, he's going to be taking a pit stop here. I don't want to mess that up, especially at a dirt track. Very difficult to complete pit stops here at a track like this, considering these cars, the tires are, and the cars are set up for the dirt. But it looks like he has gotten off pit road. Let's talk to him. All right, we got him in the booth. We weren't able to talk to our stage winner there, but we got Chris Severa. How you doing, Chris?
Yo.
Man, it looks like you had a little bit of issues there. Justin Levine was able to take the lead from you. What was going through? What was happening there? Like just the track, is it very worn, very hard to drive on? What's going on?
Nah, it's just extremely slick, and Justin just really seemed to be able to figure out the top line again, and I really have nothing for up there. So, yeah, it was just once he was able to figure that out, I knew he was going to, it's just a matter of time before he gets around me. So I just held the bottom and clipped the apron. Unfortunately, let Joey by there too. I think we might have something a bit for Joey. I know Kendall's quick here too, so hopefully we can at least get P2 here. But Justin, if he keeps up what he's doing, you know, I don't think he ran even much practice when this session was open. So if he does that, man, he's probably been running a bunch of fixed and everything. And yeah, so he's got it figured out, man. He's gonna be the one to beat.
It definitely seems like he is for sure. You know, how much preparation did you put in yourself?
Maybe like 100, 150 laps, but yeah, not much at all.
All right, well, I know you guys are getting ready to go back green here soon. Who can we give a shout out to before we let you get back to it?
Yeah, 3F Racing and Gas and Go.
All right, thanks for your time, and good luck to you, Chris.
Thanks, guys.
Alrighty, that was Chris Severa.
Green flag, green flag.
And the green flag is back out. Greg Wachinski with a little bit of a bad restart, spins the tire. See contact there with Chris Severa. Severa makes evasive maneuvers, jumps to the bottom, and is able to get by. Looks like Wachinski's definitely struggling right now. So he's up on the top. Kenny Powell now going to see if he can't work his way up into that 4th place spot. And also Jose Acosta going to see if he can't take advantage. Greg Wachinski definitely struggling with this race car. Oh, almost 3 wide is Kendall LeVron trying to see if he can't get by Paul Olson and Wachinski at the same time. It looks like he's going to be able to do it. Big wiggle, though. What a save for Kendall LeVron there. Of course, now Justin Levine out in the lead. He's got over a second on Chris Severa. You love to see it, though, with Chris Severa saying, hey, Justin Levine's fast. I don't know if I got anything for him. Look at that. Big wiggles off the top there for Severa. Looks like he's having problems running up there. So he goes right back down to the bottom. Here comes Joey Preby. He's going to get a good run. Is he? Oh, big wiggles, though. He still maintains the run out of 4. And he's going to go to the bottom, see if he can't maybe make something happen. And yeah, Severa is struggling right now. Chris Severa, our points leader, not having a great time here in the dirt at the moment as he is relegated back to the 3rd spot. Of course, Kendall LeVron, or should I say Kenny Powell, is now up into the 4th position. And that is definitely a better day than what I think he had on Thursday. I know Kenny Powell definitely struggled quite a bit on Thursday. He's going to see if he possibly can't take advantage of Chris Severa's issues and maybe catch up there and maybe go up into the top 5, or top 3, I should say. See Frank Flores battling with Jose Acosta. Of course, Acosta is able to get by Flores and moves up to the 6th place position. Greg Wachinski on that start definitely was struggling. He moves all the way back to 8th place and might even be pressured by Paul Olson. Of course, Frank Flores just a little bit ago was a lap down, now finds himself up to 7th, so he's definitely having a heck of a recovery at the moment. Now, this stage will end on lap 70 to 71, so we have quite a bit of ways to go, but of course, lap times run this place quite quick, around the 22nd mark, so it shouldn't be too long before we see that yellow flag fly once again. But Justin Levine out to a 2nd lead. Joey Preby has been starting to catch him. I mean, I would watch out for that 16. I think that he has got a fast race car. Also, Kenny Powell has moved up to 3rd. I think Chris Severa all the way back to 7th. Let's see if we can take a look back and see what happened with Chris Severa. Taking a look here at Chris Severa. See if we can figure out maybe what happened here that sent him all the way back into 7th. I think he was trying to run the top. Yep, trying to run the top and just fell all the way back. Oh, little contact with the wall. Yellow flag is also out. We're going to take a look and see if we can't find this crash. And that is Kenny Powell. That is the originator of this caution, the source, if you will. Looks like he was running up on the top, just got incredibly loose, got back to the throttle, and unfortunately that sent him right around down almost into those barrels. Luckily he was able to keep it off those barrels. Those barrels are almost sometimes seem like they're harder than concrete. They will take pieces of your car out indiscriminately, and he is going to fall all the way back into the 9th spot. And of course that brings out, I do believe, our 2nd caution based on an accident, which is surprising. I mean, I know on Thursday we had multiple cautions before this point, so I'm surprised that it hasn't been worse than it is. But I think these guys definitely have risen to the occasion. But Justin Levine is your leader. Joey Preby in 2nd. Jose Acosta 3rd. Chris Severa moves up, I do believe, into 4th place. Greg Wachinski's in 5th. Kenny Powell looks like he is going to be up to 6th. I think we had some guys that just went down pit road, actually. Yep, we just did. Looks like Frank Flores, Kendall LeVron, Paul Olson all went down pit road there, maybe to fuel up on gas while they have the abilities to, maybe even fix some damage. With that, we'll take a brief step away. We'll be right back with some more racing action. And we are back. Pace car lights should be going off possibly this time by. Well, looks like we're going to be waiting one more lap here before we get that call to the green flag. There's somebody really getting a lot of RPM out of their car. I'm wondering what's going on there. Maybe Kendall LeVron, possibly. So one thing about this new damage model as well, we saw on Thursday that it was very easy to blow up the engine in this car, especially if you had a significant front end impact, and that's something we haven't seen in these next gens a whole lot. But it seems like iRacing has been really diligently working on these damage models for these race cars. I swear, I wish they'd take a look at the truck, the NASCAR truck to be exact, because they could use the same amount of work and effort that they've been putting in these next gens. I tell you what. But, man, what a job they've done. 50 laps into this race so far. Oh, just over 100 laps left to go. Of course, I do believe 20 laps to go here in this stage. And I do believe the pace car lights are out. There's going to be taking a left turn down pit road. It's Justin Levine with the field in hand, and he goes. That control car definitely has a lot of an advantage as we almost go 3 wide for 2nd place. Preby trying to hold off Chris Severa and Jose Acosta. Let's see if we can't pull up Chris Severa's in-car camera. There we go. We got that on the screen here in just a moment. Kind of could see him sawing at the wheel as he follows behind Jose Acosta. Watching that 62. They're moving very fast around this racetrack, almost 100 mile an hour, or sometimes over 100 mile an hour, which is quite surprising for a car that is this heavy. I mean, these things weigh thousands of pounds. Of course, the banking at Bristol does facilitate a lot of that. Severa definitely still trying to get used to running up on that top side. But Justin Levine still in the lead. You see Preby is... Oh, there goes Severa again! Wow, what a save. Almost had a big issue there. Almost got into the inside wall. Of course, now Preby, or should I say Jose Acosta, going to have a little bit more breathing room. Looking back up to Joey Preby here as he follows in the tire tracks of Justin Levine. Justin Levine has had a dominant showing here tonight. Of course, started a little bit, I do believe, I think he started in 4th place and made huge moves on the initial green and has been a dominant factor in this race thus far. But I think one of the drivers that really has possibly a chance to dethrone Levine might be Joey Preby, because he has been really running very well out here, and this is a track that I think rewards a little bit of aggression, and we know that Preby is one of those drivers that has that aggression, and I know that he puts a lot of time in that 16 machine, Sim Seats machine, so a little bit of a different paint scheme there for him as well. You see Levine definitely getting loose. You see Joey Prevey also getting loose. Kendall LeBron has moved up to that third spot, and even Chris Severa said that he's very quick. He's got a good car underneath him, it seems like. Well, looks like Kendall LeBron actually just made a mistake there, fell back to 5th place. Didn't get to see that on the camera on the screen. You see Jose Acosta, of course, right there on Chris Severa. Severa has moved up to 3rd place now. Acosta trying to move up to the top side to get a good run off the exit of the corner. Now, with less than 100 laps to go, and I do believe next time by 11 laps here in the stage remain. Still 9 drivers on the lead lap. Paul Olson, he's about almost 12 seconds back behind the leader. He could possibly go a lap down here, but if he does, I think he would be the lucky dog. Greg Wyszynski, a nice recovery. He's now up into that 6th place position. Kenny Powell sits in 7th. Of course, he's had a up and down sort of day. Was up in the top 3 at some points and has also fallen back now to 7th. Frank Flores, he's about 10 seconds back from the leader. He possibly could go a lap down, but I don't think he will, just considering we are running very low on laps here in this stage. You can see exactly what Levine is doing. He goes all the way to the bottom and kicks that thing out sideways. I'd like to take maybe a cockpit camera here from Levine to see exactly what he's doing. You can see he's running in 2nd gear. Now, some drivers are running in different gears. I think for the most part, though, the majority of drivers are running in 2nd gear, just considering you're able to get into that power band a lot easier and, have a little bit better of a run. You see he's trying to chase down Paul Olson at the moment. See that 43 right there. It's very difficult to deal with lap traffic around a track like this, so I'm thinking that Levine's not going to want to have to deal with this. But eventually, I think at stage number 3, he possibly will have to. Seems like maybe it's going to be sooner than later. Here comes Paul Olson slowing down on the bottom here. It looks like he is going to make the right call, kind of slow down on the bottom and let Levine kind of drive around the top. But look at this. I mean, you see the amount of wheel he's putting into it. Look at, you turn, yellow flag is out with almost 5 laps to go here in the stage. Take a look back at this and see exactly what happened here. Frank Flores, I do believe the originator of this caution, as he is now a lap down along with Paul Olson. Of course, Paul Olson should get the lucky dog here. It looks like Frank Flores just maybe gooses it a little too quick right down the track. Surprised this caused the caution, but I think he actually tried to get back on the track. See, he stopped right there, waits for everybody to, I do believe, the pass, and then tries to get back onto the racetrack. Spins it out again into the inside wall. So difficult to get back going here at a track like this. I mean, I feel bad for these guys because, this is such a hard track. I'm so glad I'm up here in the booth and not down there on that racing surface, if you can call it that. It is just love to watch it. I'll tell you, I love to watch this dirt racing, but I am so terrible at it. So I'm glad I'm up here, as I would be probably making even more mistakes than these drivers are. But that might, I don't know if that's going to end stage number 2. I think we might end up having maybe a run. Looks like we're going to be coming to 2 to go in stage 2. That, if we're still under yellow when we get to lap 71, I do believe that will end the stage, and we will start a little bit early on stage 3, which kind of could cause a little bit of interesting things. It's going to make these guys have to go a little bit longer, and I'm sure that they're already starting to feel the physical effects of driving around this track. And mental as well. This is a track that is, I'd say, even harder than COTA, Circuit of the Americas, which is surprising. This is still an oval, but it's a dirt oval, and this is so out of the comfort zone of a lot of these drivers. At least when you go to COTA, you can at least know the track layout, but this is just it's almost counterintuitive the way you drive it. I mean, when we were looking at Justin Levine's cockpit camera, you could see that he would just, throw the wheel to the left, and then for the rest of the corner, he's literally turning to the right. I mean, that is not something that these guys are used to. I mean, you usually don't have to counter steer a whole lot when you're on asphalt, but these guys are having to do a lot of that here tonight. So that is it's so counterintuitive. It's something that you have to almost you really have to have it in your muscle memory. You have to just do it over and over and over and over again until you get it ingrained into your mind. It has to become almost second nature, just considering, I mean, things happen so quick here at Bristol as well because, I mean, this is a half-mile track, and Bristol on the asphalt and on the dirt, when you're coming out of these corners, is so difficult to, see as well what's waiting on you. And we kind of touched on it a little bit on Thursday about, having triples and VR really helps out when you're at a track like this because, I mean, when you're turning in the corners, you're facing the inside wall a lot of times, so you can't see the exit of the corner. Looks like Justin Levine going down there to kind of clean off, and I think we will have a one-lap shootout possibly here. And the green flag is out. No, I think that might actually complete stage 2. Justin Levine, your stage 2 winner, Chris Severa. Oh, there it is. So, yeah, okay. So, yeah, that's what I figured. I figured they didn't really have a green lamp there. So that was just essentially a restart that will settle the stage. Justin Levine, your stage 1 winner, Chris Severa 2nd, Joey Pruby 3rd. Jose Acosta in 4th. Greg Wachinski, I do believe, is in 5th. Kendall LeBron 6th. Paul Olson 7th. Kenny Powell in 8th. Frank Flores 9th. And Austin Derbyshire, of course, perpetually in 10th. 66 laps down. And it looks like Justin Levine is coming down pit road to possibly get some gas in that machine. Now, we saw Chris Severa. He pitted, I do believe, a little earlier than this. I think he's possibly going to be trying to maybe jump up in front of Levine and make him have to race him. Because, I mean, track position is huge at a track like this. But we also saw that Severa was struggling. I mean, I don't know how easy it's going to be for him to hold on to this spot. But let's see. Let's talk to somebody here. I think, let's see. Who can we talk to? Let's chat with Mr. Greg Wachinski. Why not? Mr. Greg Wachinski, we got you into the booth. We just figured we'd talk to somebody after stage number 2, and I just chose you. How you doing, man?
Good, my friend. How are you?
Doing fine. I mean, how's the car feeling? I know you weren't very confident coming in here to tonight's race. I know Thursday was a race that was quite difficult for you. I mean, are you feeling any better about your chances here tonight?
I mean, I changed the gear in it, and I'm just taking it easy. I'm not really trying to race anybody. Just want to stay off the wall. So far, I have 0 X's, so I'm doing pretty good halfway through the race.
Yeah, that's impressive. I mean, 0 X's is definitely something that's difficult to attain here at a track like this. Now I noticed that the track state as well is quite worn down. I mean, does that hurt you or help you think?
I mean, the track is really slick. There's no doubt about it. I mean, for me, it probably helps me because the guys that are really fast, probably harder on them. So I mean, I am where I'll be. I'm not gonna win the race or anything, but I just want to finish and keep the car clean. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, understood. Definitely just keep the car clean, keep it on the racetrack, and not sustain any major damage. I know that on Thursday you lost your whole front bumper and turned into a modified. Probably trying to avoid that tonight, right?
Yeah, I mean, the other night it blew the engine up. I mean, it wasn't a good race for me. It feels different tonight. I don't know if I'm just running it differently or if changing the gear helped me a little bit, but
all right.
Just keeping it clean. Yep.
Well, I know you guys are getting ready to go back green. Quick shout out from you, and we'll let you get back to it.
Shout out to you and the ISCA, Farmers Insurance, G&G Racing.
All right. Well, thanks, Greg, and good luck to you, bud.
Thank you.
Alrighty, that was Greg Wachinski, driver of the 5 machine. I think he's got a pretty good strategy. course, pace car lights are out. We're getting ready to get back going once again here. That's Chris Severa leads us to the green. Should be heading down pit road right now. And here we go. Green flag is back out. Chris Severa goes early. Joey Preby and Jose Acosta battling it out. Now, these guys have a little bit of history. I'm curious to see, a little contact there between those two. I'm curious to see how Justin Levine gets through this field. Looks like he gets by Greg Wyszynski, moves up into the 5th place. Joey Preby looks like he has possibly secured 2nd, but Jose Acosta not going to be denied here. Here comes Levine, though, to the inside of Kendall Levron. Chris Severa going to have to hope that possibly Levine does not have a good time getting through this traffic. But it looks like, wow, look at the moves from Levine. He is sailing it in. He looks like he is at home on this dirt track right now, as he tries to slide in up on Kendall Levron. Levron almost gets into the rear end. That was close. As Jose Acosta trying to hold on to that 3rd spot. Oh, and he gets into the wall. Levine has to take evasive maneuvers, kicks it sideways, almost loses it, but keeps it together. He now moves up to the 3rd spot. Kendall Levron now battling with Jose Acosta to see if he can't continue to stay in that 4th spot. And it looks like he is going to get by. So Jose definitely struggling a little bit out here in the dirt. But here comes, looks like Kendall kind of went a little bit too low on the exit there. Contact, and there goes Jose Acosta. Almost gets into the barrels. Luckily, he's able to keep it together. And here comes Greg Wyszynski. Can he take advantage? Of course, Joey Preby about 4/10 back from Chris Severa. Of course, I think Severa has gotten a little bit more of a handle on his race car now. But definitely Jaws team kind of playing here with Justin Levine, as he is about now 8/10 back from the leader here, Chris Severa, and about a half a second back from Joey Preby. So I think he's going to be entering the mix sooner rather than later. But what a race so far for the 16. Joey Preby has been looking fantastic out here. And we haven't had a whole lot of cautions, which is surprising. I mean, I kind of was wondering. I was like, less cars usually equals less cautions, but we're at Bristol Dirt. But if you are enjoying today's coverage here, definitely make sure to like and subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. We definitely appreciate it. And if you're maybe interested in joining the Saturday Series, we're always hunting for some new talent out here. Reach out to Kenny Powell or look up the ISCA on, I do believe, the league directory on iRacing. And they will definitely get in touch with you if you put your application in. Of course, look up iRacing Stock Car Association or ISCA. Oh, Chris Severa getting really loose. This could open up the door for Joey Preby. It does, side by side for the lead. Severa is able to recover. Oh, this is very close. I think Preby might get the lead here. Chris Severa trying desperately to hold on to it, but of course Preby getting the good runs up top. That car seems like it handles very well up on the top side of the racetrack. All this side-by-side battling has done nothing but bring Levine closer and closer. He's about a half a second back now from Preby, less than that to Chris Severa. As we're now 87 laps into this show. This thing has been flying right on by. We just started about 50 minutes ago, and usually races here on the ISCA take quite a bit of time. And these guys have been blowing through the laps out here. Oh, Levine into the wall there. Levine trying to run on the top side. Let's take another cockpit camera here from Levine. Love these cockpit cameras. You can barely see Chris Severa, though, right there. Wow, they are really getting sideways. Look at Preby just hanging it all out. Oh, Levine trying to put that, I do believe, right rear on the wall to kind of help him get through the corner without spinning it out. Three-way battle for the lead. And Levine has the best seat in the house. He gets into the wall and almost gets into Severa. Wouldn't be surprised if we see some contact very soon between these drivers. So Severa back into the picture, trying to see if he can't get underneath Levine. And we do have some lap traffic. Paul Olsen. They're able to keep it together. Paul Olson gets to the bottom, doing a very respectable thing there. I don't think Paul Olson wants any of this. And here comes Levine to the top side of Chris Severa. And look at that, almost 3 wide for just a moment. He sends it in on the top. This is some awesome battling right now. A 3-way battle for the lead. You can't make this stuff up. This is about as good as it gets, ladies and gentlemen. As Levine does secure second. Now going to be seeing if he can't go up to the task or be up to the task of getting by Joey Preby. That's 16. Of course, these drivers are over now 3 seconds. All 3 of these drivers are 3 seconds out in front of Kendall LeVron right now. Of course, LeVron has Paul Olson, just got by him. Caution is out. I do believe this is Kenny Powell. Take a look back here and see exactly what just happened to Powell. He's definitely been struggling out here tonight. He's 1 lap down at the moment. Spins it right around. Narrowly misses the barrels. As he comes to a stop in the middle of the course. Luckily, no one hits him. The leaders come through, put him a lap down. Oh, and looks like he's waiting to try to see if he can't get back. Oh, he comes up in front of, come on, Kenny. Comes up in front of Jose Acosta there. I don't know if maybe he didn't know he was coming or what. You usually gotta wait for everybody to come through before you decide to make a move like that. It's so difficult to avoid that. I don't think Jose had a chance. Luckily, it wasn't too huge of a hit. But I'm sure that Jose does not appreciate him coming up in front of him like that after he had wrecked. But, of course, that brings out the caution. Now 96 laps into the event. I do believe 60 laps to go here next time by. So definitely getting to the later stages of the show. And that, of course, means the intensity is going to start to rise and rise. We would like to mention that Frank Flores is now 7 laps down. So something I think might have happened to Frank as well. I think we might have missed that. I think now is a great time to take a commercial break. We'll be right back with some more action here as we finish up the Sugarland Distilling Co. 156 at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Hey everybody, my name is Warren Maddox. I am the president of Ultimate Experience Outdoors. Our mission, we are dedicated to taking veterans, first responders, youth, and Gold Star family members on outdoor excursions across the country.
Support for our mission has many forms. From camp cooks to the great storytellers, some buddies with the band, maybe you just want to build a campfire and sit around and listen. Nothing goes unnoticed.
Camaraderie is reborn. The acceptance among the men and women that took an oath.
Whether it was decades ago or recently renewed, but never forgot.
If you feel like you could help us, please visit our website, www.uxonation.org.
There, you can register to hunt, sign up to sponsor an event, or even donate to us so we can continue to execute our mission.
Oh my gosh, I'm so talking, bro. We get a hug, man. What have you done, Jim?
We need your help to hold the line once again.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, Joey Preby still in the lead. Justin Levine sits second. Kendall LeVron in third. What a points day it has been for Justin Levine. Won stage 1 and 2. Now, of course, he has not competed in all of the races this season in the Super Cup Series, so I don't believe he's going to be really in the points battle for the championship. But if he continues to put performances on like this, maybe towards the end he might be able to catch up, possibly. But I just know that Chris Severa has a monstrous lead right now over Kenny Powell in the points. I do believe coming in this race it was 67 points, and I think he's going to be able to maybe even make that more as the green flag is back out. Preby with a fantastic start, but Justin Levine's able to really time it well. Here he comes. He's going to try to get on the top side, and Chris Severa really sends it in as well. Levine, look at him. I mean, he has such masterful car control as he was able to really switch lanes like it looked like it was nothing there. I mean, he looks like he's driving on asphalt while the rest of these drivers are driving on dirt. Side by side, Preeby trying to pinch him down. Not quite going to work, though. That looks like Preeby gets a little bit loose. Oh, contact. This could help out Chris Severa's case as he's going to rocket around Levine. He moves up to the top. We know that Severa does not like that top very much. Of course, look at that. Levine loose. Now going to put him under fire from Kendall LeVron. Oh, there goes Chris Severa into Levine, and that's going to bring another caution out. Not going to be happy about that one, that's for sure, as we take a look back and see what happened. You take a look back as you see Chris Severa was going for the lead here. Levine was having some issues already getting loose. And Severa definitely does not seem like he's very comfortable running up on the top. And right there, just gets loose, boom, right down into the one. Luckily, the one didn't hit the wall very hard. I think he's going to be fine. Both of those drivers should be able to drive still and be fine. No broke toe links or anything like that. Paul Olson also having an issue there. Let's take a look at him. I think Olson was just trying to avoid this. Oh, yeah, there was cars all over the place. Even Jose Acosta. And he just hit the brakes and I think spun it. That's going to be, I'd say, a breath of relief probably coming out of Joey Preeby. Also going to change out the running order quite a bit. Kendall LeVron now up to second place. Greg Wachinski's in third. Justin Levine, of course, even though he was kind of taken out a little bit by Chris Severa. I know that Chris didn't do it on purpose. He just got loose up on the top. That's something that's very easy to do at a place like this. But he does fare a little bit better. He's going to be starting, I do believe, in the fourth spot, as we are now, I do believe, 52 laps to go next time by. And this is, like I said, I think the intensity is starting to rise. I think cautions are going to start to breed cautions, if you will. Kenny Powell has gotten his lap back, moves up to, didn't actually change spots, but he is back in the on the lead lap, so it'd be good for him to possibly get back into the competition. Well, what a race we've seen so far. It has been, we've had some good green runs. We've also had some cautions as well. Can Kendall LeVron take advantage of this situation? No, Kendall has been, I'd say, struggling all week a little bit at the dirt track. He's a dirt type racer. He likes to do this kind of stuff, but just the way these cars handle does not seem to suit him. But I think he's figured it out. I think that he really has made the effort to get better as this week has progressed. Of course, the Open Series, A Open, has been here as well, NIS. So I think a lot of these drivers have been really utilizing that as a test. But then again, because of the way the track state is, I don't know if all that time that you've spent in the A Open really applies. Because, of course, in the actual official iRacing series, they reset the track after qualifying, and that, or after practice, I should say. And that has not been the case here tonight. As the green flag flies, look at that. Kendall LeVron does take advantage. And looks like Kendall LeVron goes up to the lead. A little bit of a wiggle there. Levine trying to possibly see if he can't take a 2-for-1, but not quite able to get there. Look at Kendall LeVron go out loose off the top there. Comes down a little bit there on Preeby, but no contact. Side-by-side still for the lead. As LeVron up on the top, seeing if he can't maintain the momentum and speed. Chris Severa also coming into the play. Now we have a 4-car battle for the lead. LeVron and Preeby duking it out. Bare knuckle boxing out here for the lead. It looks like LeVron is going to secure it. He slides. He is clear. Here comes Levine, though. Side by side with Preeby. And Levine, getting the short end of the stick, falls back to 4th place. And here comes Chris Severa. He's going to see if he can't get by LeVron on the bottom. Not quite able to get it done. He slides it in. Can he get clear? What a run for Severa. He does get clear for the lead. Chris Severa started this race on the pole. Has not led a whole bunch of laps here tonight, but now finds himself back in the lead. Oh, they come together, Kendall LeVron and Joey Preby. Kendall LeVron slides up in front of Levine. Levine takes evasive actions and somehow makes it through. You got to know LeVron probably not too happy with Levine there, the contact. But it's so difficult to avoid that. You see Preby is so loose right now. As Levine and Preby battle it out, looks like Levine is going to move up to the second spot. Preby not going to be denied. He gets close to the back bumper, almost in touching distance. Chris Severa now out to a second lead. You see Preby struggling. He is really desperate to see if he can't work his way back up into position. He's led a couple laps here tonight. Definitely has had a fantastic showing so far. Can he get back up there and in contention? Could end up having lap traffic be a problem as well soon enough. See Paul Olson, he's about 10 seconds back from the leaders. Have to wait and see, though, because the race is definitely counting down towards the ending portion as we're coming up on 40 laps to go very, very soon. Chris Severa now with a 1.3 second lead. He's starting to pull away, looking really strong out here. Can Levine close the distance? Severa said that he didn't think he had anything for Justin Levine, but it looks like he might. I think he might have gotten used to it. I mean, Severa's one of those drivers that if he's struggling, you watch out for him later in the race. He's not going to be struggling quite as much later. He's going to get that car handling right. Might have even been making adjustments to that race car. Kenny Powell's definitely very much struggling right now. He looks like he is just having a hard time keeping that car pointed in the right direction. Jose Acosta's coming up on Kendall LeVron. Going to see if he can't possibly maybe get up to fourth place. Kendall, of course, has been really quick tonight, but has struggled with some contact with other drivers, specifically Joey Preby. Wouldn't be surprised to see Kendall LeVron maybe driving with a little bit of anger here to get back up there to that 16. Speaking of anger, short track tempers, next week we go to Martinsville, and that is going to be a rough and rowdy show right there, full of contact, full of drama, I guarantee it. I'm loving the line that we're seeing from Chris Severa. He's going all the way down to the apron here, letting that car get down there to into some of that fresh dirt. Of course, it's not very fresh, but it's fresh enough. And here comes Paul Olson, going to be going a lap down. But Chris Severa puts him a lap down, leaving only 7 drivers now on the lead lap. 120 laps into this event. Appreciate everybody out there tuning in for sure. Martinsville is going to be quite a tricky endeavor. If you made any enemies here this week, that is the track that might see a little bit of payback. Chris Severa, though, doing a fantastic job out here, about 1.5 seconds of a lead. Trying to pull away from Justin Levine. Of course, Joey Preby trying to see if he can't recover and get control of that race car. Of course, we've already been on this track for so long, so this track is about as worn as I think it'll ever get. It's getting to where I don't believe the top side is really something that you can manage. I mean, the more they run up there, the more it pushes dirt. Oh, Preby with a big moment, loses a lot of time to Levine. I think we're getting ready to see some more guys go a lap down here. See Chris Severa catching up quickly to Kenny Powell and Greg Wachinski. If we stay green, we're going to probably see maybe only 5 cars on the lead lap, maybe less. You see Frank Flores. Of course, Frank Flores 7 laps down, getting ready to go his 8th lap down. Flores goes up to the top, try to get out of the way. As we come up on now, I do believe 30 to go. And Chris Severa back into the domination form. Of course, he did not win stage 1. He did not win stage 2. But could he possibly win the race? Love this camera angle right here off the wall. You see Preview trying to get by Frank Flores. Looks like he was successful in that endeavor. Such an awesome camera angle here to see these cars sideways flying around this racetrack, and really also kind of, I'd say really highlights the banking of this racetrack. This track is so worn out, though, I wouldn't be surprised if we're wearing it down to the asphalt, or the concrete, I should say. But there goes Chris Severa catching up to Kenny Powell to put him a lap down. And he slides around the bottom, puts Kenny Powell now a lap down, so only 6 drivers remain on the lead lap. A little contact with the wall there for Severa, but just a kiss, and it's not going to hurt him too badly. Justin Levine, though, has been closing in. He's about a second back from Chris Severa now. Hoping these guys, oh, a little contact with the wall there for Levine. Trying to run up top. He's trying to make that top line work, but I think that all the dirt up there is just so worn down at the moment. Looks like he does get by Levine, though. You see also Paul Olson now going a second lap down. Greg Wachinski is now going a lap down as well, so only 5 drivers on the lead lap. Of course, Wachinski would be the lucky dog if the caution does come out. But with all these lap traffic that Chris Severa is having to deal with, this is maybe helping out Levine. Of course, a lot of drivers are a lot more willing to let second place go than the first place position, but I don't think that's really a factor here tonight, just considering how much out of the comfort zone these drivers are at the moment. Coming up on, I do believe, 23 laps to go for Chris Severa. Take a look at the lap times at the moment. They haven't fallen off a whole lot from what they started with. Of course, Chris Severa set I do believe, a 19.4 for his qualifying. He's hitting 19.8s right now. Same with Justin Levine. The rest of the field is hitting about 22nd laps. Now look at Joey Prevey coming up on Greg Wachinski. Came up on him very quickly. This is one of the problem areas when lap traffic can't be too aggressive trying to get around them. You see Greg Wachinski up into the outside wall. Kendall LeBron has quite a bit of a distance on Jose Acosta, about 3 seconds at the moment. Of course, Jose, next one to go a lap down. Could we see him go a lap down? He's about a little over 10 seconds, almost 11 seconds behind Chris Severa at the moment. Can't wait to see what the race tomorrow night looks like. The real NASCAR race. I think that's going to be a doozy in of itself. These cars definitely are awesome to see them, be able to tackle short tracks, road courses, and even dirt. I think this has been a very successful car. Of course, it had a little bit of a bumpy beginning, but I think that it definitely has proven that it is a versatile race car. I think NASCAR made the right call putting this one into the Cup Series. Levine starting to catch up now within a second. He's desperate to see what he can do here. Can he get up there and maybe challenge Chris Rivera coming to the checkered flag? Now 140 laps into this race. I do believe now 16 laps to go. Coming right down to the end. I don't think Levine's going to have enough time unless Rivera makes a crucial mistake, which is very possible. I mean, these drivers have not had a whole lot of yellows tonight, which means in a lot of ways they're probably more tired than they have ever been. I mean, when you have a lot of yellows, you get a chance to kind of cool back down, relax a little bit, and you know, soothe those muscles. But these guys have not had that tonight. They have been straight up racing almost the entire time. Looks like Frank Flores down pit road. He might be calling it quits. Big moments here for Kendall LeBron. He's getting really loose there. He has quite a distance back to Jose Acosta, so I don't think that's going to hurt him very much. Does Jose Acosta stay on the lead lap? Preview. He's about a second back from Levine right now. He's had a great day in that Ryko machine. Chris Rivera coming now to 12 laps to go. Going to be watching him closely. Does he make a mistake? It's so easy to make a mistake at a track like this, especially when you're getting closer and closer to the end. And we talk about it a ton of times, how Chris Rivera, fantastic driver, but a lot of times the problem is not other drivers on the track. Sometimes Chris Rivera kind of trips himself up. Not to talk bad about him, but I'm just saying that he does have a tendency to. No one really beats Chris Rivera. Chris Rivera beats himself most of the time. But it looks like he's got it well in hand here tonight as we come to 10 laps to go. Chris Rivera with 1.5 seconds back to Levine. I think Levine has started to stagnate. Of course, Chris Rivera still has to possibly get by Jose Acosta, who's in that 5th spot. And if Jose maybe has an issue in front of Rivera, it's so hard to avoid a crash here, as we've mentioned several times here tonight. Pull up Chris Rivera's in-car cameras. He comes up on Wachinski. Wachinski now going to be going 2 laps down, very close, too close for comfort. As now he comes up onto Jose Acosta to put him a lap down. This is when things could go wrong. There are a lot of variables when it comes to lap traffic. Coming up now to 6 laps to go. Looks like he's going to be able to successfully get by Jose Acosta. Will we finish this under green? We are in that territory now that if caution does come out, we will have a green-white checkered, and we only have 1 featured in the event tonight. Five laps to go, this time by a lot of clean real estate in front of Rivera. You do see Kenny Powell, though, possibly going to be going another lap down. Looks like Paul Olson's going to go down to the bottom, get out of the way. He's definitely been doing a good job of that. And looks like he's going to get another top 10 here. Of course, he finished 10th on Thursday. Looks like he's going to possibly get 8th here tonight. Chris Rivera with a fantastic performance. Started on the pole, did not win stage 1, did not win stage 2, but took a gamble on pit road, did not go down pit road while Justin Levine did, and the track position proved to be more valuable than I think Levine thought it would be. As we come now to 2 laps to go, of course, when the white flag waves, the next flag will end it no matter what happens. I know Chris Rivera's got to be really happy with his performance here tonight. Even though he is in the lead, you don't see a whole lot of smiles on that face. You can just see pure focus. sure after he wins the race, though, I'm sure we'll see a lot of smiling. Now coming up to the white flag. Final lap, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Severa with about 7/10 of a second on Justin Levine. It looks like Levine is going to run out of time. And Chris Severa, exiting the last corners, will cross the line as your winner here tonight for the Sugarlands Distilling Company 156. What a fantastic performance from Chris Severa. Started on the pole. Was able to win this race. Justin Levine, of course, finishes in second place. Joey Preby in third. Kendall LeBron finishes in fourth. Jose Acosta in fifth. Kenny Powell finishes sixth. Greg Wachinski in seventh. Paul Olson in eighth. Ninth, Frank Flores. 10th, Austin Derbyshire. And rounding out our 11-car field is Derek Jacobs. As we watch the 62 of Severa celebrate his win here. Very hard to do burnouts around this place, but he's definitely putting on a show for these fans. And with that, the race ramped up. We'll take a step away, pay some more attention to our sponsors, and we'll be right back with your post-race show where we'll talk to the top three.
Getting into this particular business, it was very important for us to make sure that we were putting out the most authentic product. Sugarlands Distilling Company is a fantastic distillery in downtown Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Our goal is to spread across the country. We would love your help in doing that.
Hey everybody, my name is Warren Maddox. I am the president of Ultimate Experience Outdoors. Our mission, we are dedicated to taking veterans, first responders, youth, and Gold Star family members on outdoor excursions across the country.
Support for our mission has many forms, from camp cooks to the great storytellers, some buddies with the band, maybe you just want to build a campfire and sit around and listen. Nothing goes unnoticed.
Camaraderie is reborn. The acceptance among the men and women that took an oath.
Whether it was decades ago or recently renewed, but never forgotten.
If you feel like you could help us, please visit our website, www.uxonation.org.
Or there, you can register to hunt, sign up to sponsor an event, or even donate to us so we can continue to execute our mission.
Oh my gosh, I'm so talking, bro. We get a hug, man. What have you done, Jim?
We need your help to hold the line once again.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with our post-race show where we'll be talking to the top three finishers here tonight in the Sugarland Distilling Co. 156. First up is going to be Mr. Joey Preby. How you doing? Man, Joey, great performance here tonight. You led some laps, 20 to be exact, and maybe even had a chance to win this race. What would you think you needed to do differently to win this race?
Yeah, probably on that final restart needed to probably have, just a better start. Got stuck on the bottom and couldn't really get any momentum and get clear, so lost a lot of time. Uh, anything from that, it's just what it is.
Now, how do you like the dirt track racing? Seemed like you were pretty comfortable out there.
Yeah, I like it. It's, something different, and, I kind of like doing these different kind of races, like, here and, uh, you know, road course and those kind of stuff. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely looked like a lot of fun out there for sure. Bristol, definitely. Did you? How much time did you put in preparation wise? Because it seemed like you, like I said, you seemed like you were at home out here in the dirt.
I didn't. I so last year I put a lot of time in. This year I didn't do too much practice. I did a couple a fixed races. I think I did like three of them. Apart from that, I didn't really do much practice apart from before the race today, like the hour before, practice session.
100%. Now I know the practice session, the conditions did carry over from that as well. So how different was it compared to when the track was fresh?
Uh, when the track was fresh, it was a lot faster. I think I was full throttle a lot more in the corner than and didn't have to worry about getting the nose kind of straight. Oh, not straight, but like toned too much. It was a lot easier when it was fresh than now. It was a lot of throttle control and just trying to keep the car's nose, pointed where it wants to go.
100%. Well, great job on the third place. Leading 20 laps. You definitely got some stage points here tonight as well. Martinsville is coming up next week. How do you feel about that racetrack? Back to the asphalt slash concrete.
I feel good. Only I'll miss that race. I'll be at the races, but if I was racing it, I'd feel very confident going there.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, hey, I don't blame you choosing the real life race over this one for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you enjoy yourself for sure. Hope you have a happy Easter as well. Who can we give a shout out to after this third place finish?
Everyone at Lyco Motorsports and um them for having a great setup and you know helping me get this third place finish.
All right. Well, thanks for your time there, Joey, and we'll see you next week. Over. Well, enjoy your time at the race, I should say, and we'll see you in a couple weeks, I should say.
Yep. Thank you. Bye.
All righty. That was Joey Preby, our third place finisher. Next up, I got a good old Mr. Justin Levine wrangled up. And it looks like we got him here now. Mr. Justin Levine, how you doing tonight? It looks like you had a really fast race car out there. Love the new paint scheme as well. Of course, you led quite a few laps tonight, 44 to be exact. And it seemed like once you got in the lead, it was all said and done from there. But what happened? I mean, it seemed like maybe Chris Severa kind of jumped you into track position and just everything went wrong from there.
Oh man, I don't know where to start on this one. Big smile on my face racing though. Oh my god, this track is just so much fun. Being able to put it any line and just throttle it up and sideways off the corner is just so much fun. Um, got involved in that late wreck and knocked the toes out, and car just didn't have it anymore. I don't know how I didn't loop it a few times there. The car, I hit everything. I was just trying so hard to get back to Chris to at least have a shot to hit him in the bumper, but very happy with P2 here.
100%. So that's interesting that your toe was kind of messed up. I know that there also has been quite a few updates to the damage model as well. So definitely interesting to see that. But your car doesn't look too bad out there on the racetrack. Great job to you. I know you said that it was very easy to kind of drive your race car, but I mean the conditions of the track also were quite different than probably what you expected in the officials. I mean, did it take any time to get accustomed to that? It didn't seem like you hit the ground running.
It definitely takes a bit of time. Every track surface is different, especially on dirt. I didn't know how much was going to carry over with the session from practice qualifying to the race, but after probably like a few laps, like give it about 20, kind of get into rhythm, and you just got to be consistent lap after lap, and that's the only way to go out there and win like Chris did.
100%. Well, definitely seemed like you were at home there out on the dirt. Can't wait to see what you have kind of going on in the future. Martinsville is coming up next week. How do you feel about that one? I mean, much different than, say, Bristol Dirt. This is quite a difficult track. Of course, Martinsville has its own share of difficulties as well.
I love Martinsville. Hopefully, we could use that front bumper a little more. Give everybody a little shot, just say hello. But Martinsville should be a lot of fun. Good group of races here. It should be pretty clean.
100%. We're so glad to have you back as well. I know that you're a previous champion here in the ISCA. Love to see you, get back into the competition. I know the last couple races you haven't been as good as you probably would have liked, but we're glad to see you back to your kind of front form, if you will. Who can we give a shout out to after this second place finish in 44 laps led and stage 1 and 2 in the books with victories there?
Shout out to you, Brian. You do such a great job on the broadcast. I always love going back and watching the race there. Shout out to Kenny for allowing me back. This is always a bit of a home series for me. Gotta thank everyone at Team Watson Racing Setups. This car was phenomenal this week. Had so much fun in the official, and it carried on right into the league race here.
All right. Well, thanks for your time, Justin, and I appreciate those kind words. Have my face turning red a little bit here. I appreciate it, Justin. We'll see you hopefully at Martinsville next week, bud.
Sounds good. Have a good night.
You as well. Of course, that was Justin Levine, our second place finisher here tonight. Next up, the man, the myth, the legend, Chris Severa, started on the pole and wins the race. Chris, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing great after that. It was exciting run there to the end with that 2x2 run and a little bit of 3 wide. And I don't think I've seen any race this week really do that. So, that was something else, especially for this track.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it was quite exciting to see for sure, and I think that your move of the race as well was, when you kind of stayed out and got a little bit more track position than Justin Levine. Of course, you still did have to battle with Joey Preby. So how important was track position here tonight?
Yes and no. I thought it was going to be very important until I figured out how much tires mattered here. Went most of the race without taking them because I haven't taken tires on any other dirt track, so I figured I wouldn't do it here. And then I saw, the wear on the rears are wearing a bit, and I was just I couldn't handle it. And then the icing on the cake was unfortunately doing Justin in that big one. I was unfortunate to hear that I knocked out his toe. I wanted to win against him, but not like that. So hopefully we'll have another shot to beat Justin straight up because he's crazy fast. He had this place figured out. But I don't know if we got Goodyears or Hoosiers out here this week, but once we put some fresh rubber on it, the pace picked right back up. The car was a lot easier to keep underneath of us, and I'm not sure if it was the tire temperatures, but it definitely felt like I was able to pull, and then Dustin was definitely reeling me in. Give it like 20 more laps, he would have gotten there.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that about the tires. That's something I never would have expected. Of course, in real life, tires do wear on the dirt tracks, and could that have had something possibly to do? I know I've been beating this like a dead horse, but uh, the conditions of the track too, all the rubber that was laid down. Do you think that was maybe affecting the tires?
Yeah, definitely, because the slicker the track gets, the more wheel spin you're going to get, and then like I said, I didn't really think about tire wear because anything else you really run the sprint cars have so much downforce that you don't really think about it. And once we just swapped it out, it was like it's basically once it's slicked off here, you would just want to run the car as straight as possible. So any more throttle you give it, you're just going right up the track. So yeah, any little bit of extra grip that I don't know. Who would have thought that taking tires actually mattered, but it did.
Yeah.
Took me. I'm slow to the show, so.
Well, that's it. I
Took
mean,
me a little bit to
I've
figure
never
that
heard
out.
that before, so that's interesting that you say that as well. And we also saw the way you were running your line. Like it seemed like the top line just was not a good place for your car to be. But you were able to really go down to the bottom, and I kept seeing you kind of even touch the apron a little bit there. Was there fresh dirt down there that was kind of helping you out?
Yeah, sometimes we were able to make it work going down below the apron, but coming back up, it was just the risk versus reward just wasn't there. But yeah, just up at the top, it just had nothing. The rear was just bottoming out, and I was coming down the track whether I wanted to or not. And um, I'll have to go back and look at the replay after because my replay has been deleted. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that just happened. I just lost the car, and I was just doing my best I could just to stay off from there. But once these things go around, it's like a car with ABS. You're just going wherever the car's pointed. So
Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
apologies for that, but
It's like
Yeah.
Newton's law. Object is in motion is going to stay in motion.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Well, great job to you. I know Martinsville is coming up next week, and short track. We heard even talk from Justin about bumpers and stuff like that. How do you feel about Martinsville?
I definitely feel like I'm owed a bumper. I tell you what, but no, it'll be interesting. I know Kenny's actually pretty good at that track. A lot of other guys are really good at the track. I don't know if we're going to have more people show up. Justin's good just about anywhere he goes. So if he's going to be there, that'll be great to race against him again.
100%. Definitely looking forward to it. Short track, Martinsville, of course, even with the new short track program, they kind of have, definitely have been helping that out quite a bit. So I expect we're going to see a lot of side by side racing, bumper to bumper action, just like Martinsville used to deliver for sure. But looking forward to it, Chris. Who can we give a shout out to after this big win here at the Sugarland Distilling Company 156?
Yeah, 3F Racing, Gas and Go is an EPI setup this week. I don't feel like it was the best. I definitely think it was just bottoming out a bit too much for my liking. But yeah, you as always for riding it out solo tonight. Really appreciate you. Kenny again for putting on the league, and Gas and Go again. I'm not sure if I said it, but if not, those guys, big shout out as always.
Yeah, nothing wrong with saying it twice, right? I'm sure they appreciate it. Well, thanks for your time, Chris, and congratulations once again on the win.
Thanks, bro.
Alrighty, that was Chris Severa, our winner here tonight. Definitely a fantastic performance here. He led 88 laps, the most out of anybody. I know he was kind of a little down on himself early in the race, but he found a way to get it together and took care of business. Congratulations to all the top three as well. Joey Preby and Justin Levine did a fantastic job. And can't wait to see what these guys have in store for us for Martinsville. Do got to give a shout out to Paul Olson, too. I mean, of course, he finished 4 laps down. He got a 10th place on Thursday, and he got an 8th place today, so one better. How about it? Definitely a great job to him as well. And, of course, Kendall Vaughn able to finish 4th, last driver on the lead lap. Almost probably went a lap down himself. I mean, I'll tell you what, Chris was out here like Pac-Man, just putting guys a lap down. But definitely a great race to everybody out there for sure. We appreciate everybody as well tuning in here to tonight. Of course, if you want to keep track of all the action, make sure you like and subscribe to us on YouTube. You can follow us on Facebook as well. Definitely, I do believe we stream on Twitch as well too, so you can follow us there and keep track of all the action. Of course, next week, Thursday, we will be at Martinsville, and on Saturday as well. You can tune in on both days at about 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when the kind of countdown to green begins. 9:30, a little after that, will be when the green flag flies there at Martinsville. Definitely excited to see what that paperclip holds for us. That is one of the most difficult short tracks, and one of the ones that causes the most, I'd say, drama as well. So can't wait to see what that looks like for sure. And with that, I do believe that brings us to the conclusion of tonight's event. Definitely, again, appreciate everybody watching, and have a happy Easter for sure. Hopefully everybody has had a happy Easter weekend thus far and has spent a lot of time with their family. I know I have. But we'll see you next time, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the ISCA. See you later.